Hey, it's Sierra again. I'm just here to show you step by step how I design stickers using Procreate. Here I'm going to go ahead and turn on the drawing guide to make it a little bit easier to keep everything straight. Edit the grid size, change the color, select done, and now we're good to go. Personally, whenever I go and hand letter or even doodle, I always start out with a rough sketch first. Here you'll see I select a sketching brush and go ahead and sketch out the words watermelon sugar because this is the sticker that we're going to be making today. The reason I always sketch it out first is this always gives me a pretty accurate guideline to base off of when I go through and use a thicker, more sharp, and permanent brush. This also allows me to make a little bit less mistakes as I go through and complete my project at hand. Here I make the switch from our sketching brush over to the permanent brush I'll be using today. The brush that I selected is actually one of my favorites. It's from Rad Happy. It's one of Tara's brushes that she sells in her shop. It's honestly my favorite, and I'll drop the link down below so you guys can go ahead and grab it yourselves. I then begin just tracing over my rough sketch and going ahead and making the final more bold look for our sticker. I'm not perfect, and this oftentimes takes me a couple of tries to get the sticker looking exactly how I like. You'll see here in a few moments how I go back through and I edit basically the entire sticker because there's just some things that I'm not happy with when I do it the very first time, and that's okay. I hope you guys know that your first rough draft isn't always going to be perfect either. Zoom in, zoom out. That's what's most important here. Oftentimes I don't see things when I'm zoomed in that I do when it's zoomed out, and vice versa. I see things when I'm zoomed out that I don't see when I'm zoomed in. And so it's really important that you take the extra time to go in and really look at the fine tune and like the fine lines that you are creating as a designer. Now I go ahead and I delete our underneath sketch layer. To add a little fun to our hand lettering, I'm going to go ahead and go through and add a few lines and dots just to make our lettering a little more fun and unique. Here I go ahead and I end up finishing our lettering out. But next I'm going to teach you how we go ahead and apply a clipping mask. You add a layer, then I go ahead and I go to the airbrushing, select the soft brush, and then you pick your size of the soft brush you're wanting. And then go ahead and choose a couple of colors that you really like. Here I'm going to go ahead and try and stick to watermelon colors to stick with our theme. Then here I go and I kind of make a little bit of a pattern starting with this light lime green and work my way out with all of the watermelon colors that I personally wanted to use. As we continue to move our way outward, you're going to notice the less and less of our hand lettering that we're going to actually be able to see, and that is completely fine. For the first time it might freak you out a little bit, but after you get the hang of it, you're actually going to love using this tool to make your stickers, I promise. So as we slowly begin to finish coloring over our letters, you're going to notice that I go and I choose the finger up top. That's just trying to get a little bit of smear and blending through the two. Please don't mind my dog. Here I go ahead and I select the motion blur. I blur this a little bit to give the clipping mask the effect of being blended. Then I go ahead, select the layer, select clipping mask, and then I'm going to go ahead and merge these two layers together so that way our lettering will permanently have the effect of the layer that we had just created. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a sticker background. This is the background that we're going to go ahead and use so that way when we upload this into Design Space, our Cricut will cut around our background. Select a color, whatever color you want for the background, and then go ahead and make sure that the blank layer is beneath the layer of your design, and then you just go ahead and you start outlining your design. Some backgrounds are a lot easier to create than others. Some are pretty tricky. I have found what makes it easiest for me to create the background is always to keep in mind the simplicity of the cut. You don't necessarily want your background to be super crazy or there to be a ton of in and outs, because that's going to make your Cricut not cut your sticker as accurately, which will then lead to your sticker not looking as good. Now let's be honest, we all want the coolest looking stickers. Everybody wants the coolest stickers. Stickers are awesome. They can go anywhere, they can go everywhere. You can take them on road trips, you can take them with you while you're grocery shopping, you can take them to your friend's house, you can take them to your grandma's house. It really doesn't matter. But the biggest thing about creating stickers is being, like, the thing that I love the most is being able to use your creative mind and being able to be in tune with that part of our mind. So oftentimes we're stressed out with adulthood and everything else, and we don't really get to take that break or rewind. And I absolutely love tuning into my creativity and just like being able to breathe and step back from adulthood. If this is something you need, if you like love to doodle, love to draw, whatever, you could even start drawing and hand lettering things on paper and scanning them into your computer and doing things that way. Like, there's several different ways. If you're wanting to be creative and tune into your creativity, please, please, please do not allow the fact that there are lots of other people doing it to stop you, because the reality is there may be a lot of people doing it, but you're not doing it, and we need you to be doing it too. Here I am just finishing up this cute little watermelon before I go ahead and fill in the background layer. Now you'll see I just use the drag and drop feature here. But right here, it is so important to use the zoom in, zoom out feature. I cannot express to you guys how important when you use the drag and drop feature in Procreate that it is to go back through and zoom in and zoom out, because there's going to be probably 100 little microscopic little dots that you're going to have to just go through and trace over to fill them in anyway. Here you can see when I zoom in that there's just a bunch of space that's itty bitty little space, but it isn't filled in. And so going back through this, make sure that when I transport this image into design space, that I'm not going to have a sticker that comes cut out with 800 little holes in it. I'm going to have a sticker that comes out and it has the outline cut out and it looks fresh, and that's what I want. Here you'll see I go in and I kind of fine tune the lines. This sticker particularly has quite a bit of curves, and so I was trying to ease up the curvature of the lettering, especially in the background, to make it a little bit easier for my machine to cut and make this image look really good. Here I am fine-tuning our lines in the background before we go ahead and export this image as a PNG and upload it into Design Space. I really love creating stickers and bringing all of this information and details to you guys here on YouTube. It would really mean the world to us if you could like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I'll leave a few links below with some of the details, like the brush that I used earlier where I got my screen protector and things like that, if you guys are interested. We hope to see you guys around here a little more often. Okay, now I'm gonna weld these two together. Export as a PNG. Take you into Cricut Design Space, and sorry I had a project already uploaded. Select from photo library, selected watermelon sugar, saved as a print and cut image. When I uploaded it into the Design Space, I went ahead and I resized it so that way we could get the most use out of our sticker paper by creating as many watermelon sugar stickers on the sheet as possible. I believe with this sheet I got 9 stickers. I'm typically happy if I get 7 to 12 on a sheet. Here I just am duplicating, and now we have 9 stickers that fit within the 625 or 675 by 925 dimension, and we are good to go. You could go ahead and create this, but I went ahead and saved it for the time being. We hope you all have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe down below. See you next time.